Welcome to another edition of the Science Talks by UNU-EHS. I'm Austin, I'm from the comms team. I'm sitting here with Professor Marwala, Rector of the United Nations University, and we're going to talk about climate change and AI. So I'll start with the first question for you. Why is it important to talk about AI in the context of climate change?
Austin, thank you very much for the question. It is important because AI has implications on climate change. Firstly, the computing aspect of AI is really energy consumptive, and therefore the carbon footprint is actually quite substantial. And we need to know how we can be able to regulate that. Secondly, on the positive side, we can be able to use AI to produce accurate models, models that are more efficient in predicting weather patterns, in designing green solutions, whether it is much more reactive solar panels and so on and so forth. So it's absolutely important that we need to add the issue of climate change to AI.
Yep. It has its positives and its negatives. It's an important piece of the solutions going forward. My next question is, why is UNU talking about this? What is UNU doing to broach this topic?
Well, I think we are doing several things, especially in our new AI Institute in Bologna. We would like to actually be involved in the modeling aspect. And of course, here in EHS, there are some very impressive modeling capabilities, So that is the first aspect. The second aspect is the governance of it. How do we approach climate from a governance perspective? And it can go as far as how do we dispose electronic material that come out of the use of AI. It can actually mean how do we, what sources of energy do we use when we implement AI? Are we using renewable energy, or we are using electricity that has been generated from coal? Who is responsible for that governance? Is it a local government, such as Germany? Is it the European Union? Or is it both? Is it at the international level? And of course, in my own continent, we have a similar setup. Is it South Africa? Is it the African Union? You even have regional bodies. I think in all aspects, we must have some form of governance of this technology with regards to climate change. I think at the international level, we need to have that. I think at the continental levels, such as the EU and the AU, we need to have that. I think at the member states level, we need to have that.
So governance, plenty of space to work there across the board. My last question for you then would be, and maybe we've already touched on this a little bit, but I imagine there's probably more to it. What are some particular challenges and opportunities in terms of integrating AI into global climate strategies?
Well, I think the big challenge is the semiconductor technology that we use now. Of course, there is a big move towards GPUs. Those are not sustainable technologies, and they are not even efficient. And that is why when you use your device, whether it is your computer or your phone, after a very short space of time, it is hot. That heat was supposed to be used for computing, because the technology is not right. You are just dissipating it to the atmosphere, and it is contributing to global warming. Certainly in your computer, you might think it is small, but if you aggregate it, if you go to data centers, it becomes actually quite substantial, you know. And then, of course, you have problems of the ethics of AI. Now, you build these models, and these models are supposed to make certain predictions, and these predictions are used for decision making by governments. Who is responsible for their failures? It's the issue of accountability. What do we make of the fact that the most advanced form of AI that is based on neural networks is actually not transparent? You can put governance model of making it transparent. You can say the data that we use to feed the AI system, we need to know where it was collected. We need to know how it has been collected. We even need to know how the algorithm was trained, where the energy comes from, whether it is renewable or not. But if you look at the model itself, you still would not be able to explain why it makes the decisions it does. Mm-hmm. And of course, people will say you can always make it transparent. Unfortunately, when you make it transparent, it becomes less accurate. Where do you place the balance? You know, transparency versus accuracy. And then there is the issue of now, I'm going to get to ChatGPT type of technology where a great deal of lawmakers are actually getting their information on climate change from those devices. Unfortunately, those algorithms are based on the principle of accuracy. And when you deal with climate information, what you need is not just accuracy. What you need is actually truth. And accuracy and truth is not. I'll give you an example. I went to ChatGPT, and no, it was Google Gemini, and I asked it about myself. For some reason, it said I was the Director General of WIPO, which is really not correct.
Not at all.
But when you read the story, it is correct. From an accuracy perspective, that story is like 99% accurate, because if you just replace WIPO with UNU, you have the correct story.
Yep.
But it is not true if it is talking about me as a WIPO person. And accuracy cannot be able to capture that. In fact, it is misleading. And then obviously you have the issues of balancing transparency and safety. You know, when you make these models transparent, they become less safe. You know, those are the issues that we need to deal with, and those governance systems must actually be developed.
Yep. No, I think those are all very, very solid points. I mean, we have to face the ethical dilemmas. We have to face the certain challenges of accuracy, as you say. And I'm really happy that you, in your first example with the computing, you brought it back to the people. And that is something that we tried to do to heart with this sort of this live talk series, or the science talk series. So with that, I think we'll end it there. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate the nice breakdown you put on the challenges and opportunities of AI and climate.
Thank you very much, Austin.
Thank you.
It was a great pleasure to talk to you.
It's a pleasure.
And I hope to talk to you when I come back to EHS, which is always soon.
Please.
Thank you.